Hey guys, it's Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a cool little filler game called Kingswood. Kingswood is a 2 to 5 player game where players are adventurers in the town of Kingswood, like this, and they are trying to collect money, learn how to use swords to fight baddies, getting some courage, which are represented as hearts, getting some books, which knowledge, and they're trying to use this money and these, skills to battle monsters in the forest. You're trying to be the first person to fight enough monsters to get 20 points. Sounds pretty realistic, huh? It's just a game. It's a silly game, but that's the theme. That's cool, and it's interesting. So let's go down to the table and see how it plays. All right, so here's a game of Kingswood set up for 2 players. Let me go through setup really quickly. You're going to have all the tokens. They are gold. They are hearts. You can't see the tokens, sorry. They are books. They are swords, and they're 2-sided. One's a color side, one's a black and white side. You're going to set out this Rondel, which is the actions that you're going to be able to take during the game. There are 5 that you're always going to use, which are these 5. The blacksmith, tavern, academy, forest, and market. And then there's 1 that it's always going to be random out of I think 6 or 7. And in this case we have the witch's hut, and it's going to let you take the action with the king's guard, which I will get into in a little while, explain what all that does. You're going to put 3 meeples on the blacksmith, the tavern, and the academy, and you're going to have the king's guard, which is this guy, set off to the side. You're going to shuffle up the chapter cards. So there's chapter 1 and chapter 2 you're going to use for the appropriate number of players. Stack chapter 1 on top and use all the chapter 2 cards. Flip 3 cards, and then every player is going to get their own power, special ability, with their starting resources, which are down at the bottom. So this player starts with 2 swords and 3 gold, and they get to gain an extra coin when they go to the market. So whenever they take that action, they're going to get to use that benefit, and they're also going to be the first player. All right, so that was a really quick rundown of how to set it up. Now, let's go ahead and get playing. On your turn, you can take 1 of 2 actions. You can do 1 of 2 things. You can take the actions of meeples, which means you would take the action of 1 of the meeples on the board. Then you're going to move that meeple to an adjacent area or farther if you pay money and take that action. So you're going to get to take 2 actions with the meeples, or if the king's guard is on a space, you can take him off and you'll get 2 coins. And that's your turn. All right, so I'll go over what the action spaces do when we get there and when we do it. So let's just jump into it. All right, so I have 2 swords and 3 gold, and you can see the monsters over here. These are the monsters that you're trying to kill. They have points at the bottom. This is a prototype copy, so it has some stuff crossed out. We're trying to be the first player to get the 20 points. So if I kill this monster, it's worth 2. If I can kill the goblin bully, it'll be worth extra points. So if I kill this monster, I want to also try to kill that big bad too. To kill it, you need to expend a heart and a sword. So I'll get to that when we fight. So let's see what we got here. All right, I actually want to get a heart. So I'm going to take this action. So this is going to let me spend a coin to get a heart, or spend a coin to refresh all of my hearts. That'll make sense after we fight some monsters. So right now I'm just going to spend a coin and get a heart. And then I get to move to an adjacent area, so I'll move here. I get 3 coins, but whenever I go to the market, I get an extra coin. So now I'm going to get 4 coins. And because I started at this location, the King's Guard goes there and blocks that from anybody else using it. You can't move to a location that has a meeple or the King's Guard unless you have a power that lets you do so. All right, so now it's this character's turn. They're starting out with 3 gold, a heart, and a book, and they don't have to spend coins when moving non-adjacent. I think that's what that says. Yes. All right. So I'll try to go over that throughout the, at least in a round, so you can see how that works. Okay, so they have the same actions. They can move this guy off to score 2 coins, or they can do the actions with the meeples. So they want to try to fight some baddies. So let's see if they can do that. Yeah. So they're going to use this guy. So that'll get them 3 coins. Then they're going to move this guy to the forest. All right, when you move to the forest, you get to fight any number of monsters that you can fight. So what they're going to do is they are going to fight this one. Cost 3 coins. When you fight monsters, they come down into your tableau for points. Coins get discarded. And I'll show you what happens to the other ones. They're also going to fight this one. You can fight as many monsters as you can. So they're going to fight this monster as well. It's going to cost a heart and a book. So when you use hearts and books and swords, you flip them and they're exhausted. You cannot use them again until you go to one of the locations and recharge them or unexhaust. That's all they can do, so they're done. Then you'll refill the forest back up to 3. Some of the monsters are going to give you special things that happen when you defeat them. These 2 that I killed are just going to be worth extra points if I can kill a big bad. So this player now has 4 points. So they're 1/5 of the way there to winning the game. Alright, so this player has a pile of coins. They need to get rid of some stuff. Kill some baddies. So they'd like to kill some baddies too. So they will stay at the forest. They're going to kill some baddies. So they'll kill, defeat I guess. They'll kill this goblin gang. So they need a heart and a sword. So they have a heart and a sword. Put that there. That'll be worth extra points if I can kill the goblin bully. And they're going to kill this one because it needs a sword and a coin. And that says I get to refill the forest. Normally you don't get to refill the forest until you're all the way done. But in this case, I get to refill it. Maybe there'll be something else I can defeat if it only takes money. So nope, not this time. Alright. So that was my first action. Now I have to move somewhere. So here's where it gets tricky. I can't go here or here, and those locations are free because it's blocked by the Kingsguard, it's blocked by a meeple. So I can pay a coin for every area that I want to skip over. So if I wanted to go here, I could pay a coin to skip over that one. What does this one do? So this action is going to let me use the action of the Kingsguard, which I think is what I want to do. So I'm going to go here. I have to pay a coin because I skipped over this one. And now I get to use the market. And when I use the market, I get an extra coin. So I get 4 coins. And then the Kingsguard will move here because that's where I started from. And then it will be this player's turn. So let's see here. What do they want to do? They want to get some more stuff. So they want to get a sword. So they're going to pay 1 coin for a sword. Sword comes in unexhausted. And then they're going to move. They're just going to go down here. They'll pay another coin. I'm not sure if I paid a coin for that sword, but that's fine. It doesn't really matter. I'll just pay another one. So now they have 1 sword and 1 heart. And that's their turn. So it's this player's turn. They have a pile of cash. So they probably need to refill some stuff. So they are going to actually buy a book. So they're going to buy a book for 1 gold. Then they will move here. Can they kill anything? They can. So they will fight the Sun Sprite. Cost a book and a gold. And they get to refresh 1 heart. So this spends a book and a gold and their heart is refreshed. And this moves over here and their turn is done. Refill the forest to 3. So now it is 4 to 4. And that is how simple this game is. You're going to keep doing this until someone has 20. If the first player has 20, everyone else will get another turn to try to get 20 or beat them. If there's a tie, so whoever has the most gold, there's another tiebreaker that you can find out in the rule book, or maybe I'll put it in the description. But yeah, that's easy. It's simple. Let's go up to the top, see what we think about it. All right, so that was Kingswood. I got to say, this has been on my shelf for a while. I've been meaning to do a review for at least a month, and I just haven't gotten around to playing it, and I finally got to play it, and I gotta say I was not disappointed. This is a pretty light family game. It features the Rondel, which is the little action selection wheel, and resource management set collection kind of deals, and you're trying to just race to get 20 points. That's the game. You saw it in action. It's pretty easy to teach. It's easy to explain. It's easy to play, but it's fun. So let me tell you about the things that I like. So the pros, they'll be right here. I love the Rondel. I'm a huge fan of Rondels. Rondels are one of my probably favorite mechanisms. And I like that when there's a piece on the Rondel, you can't, or on the action space, you're not allowed to use that action space until that piece moves. That is very awesome. Variable player powers. Every player has different starting resources and different abilities. That is super amazing as well. I really enjoy that. I like that the monsters, some of them give you special powers or abilities when you defeat them. Some of them work in conjunction with a big bad, they're going to give you bonus points. And the artwork. I think the artwork is pretty cute and adorable. Like, this market looks really good. These monsters, for being a little ghost, looks really good. So, artwork is fine. The components, I think since this is a prototype, these chips aren't really that good. So I'm not going to talk about that at all because it's not fair to the game. So, artwork, card quality, gameplay, mechanisms of the Rondel, variable player powers, and special powers when you defeat monsters. Cool. Cons. It's a little light for me, but that's a preference. That's not going to be the issue for everybody. So, a con for me will be that this game is pretty light. So if you're looking for maybe a filler to play with people who don't normally play games, and you still want to have a little bit of decision space, then this will be a game for you. So again, lightness or light, whatever ease of play. It's a little light for me, but again, that's not for everybody. So that will be a con for me, could be a pro for you. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give this a BGM accepted seal. I'll give this 3.5 out of 5 wrenches. So that translates to a 7 out of 10. And I really enjoy this. I'm going to keep it in my collection. I'm going to try to bust it out occasionally when I have people over who aren't big gamers and just want something light to play for 20, 30 minutes. It's a good game. So, I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.